It's the Daily Talk Show, episode 887.
What is happening, Gronks? What's going on?
Tommy Jackett, welcome back.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you.
How are you feeling? How was your break?
Yeah, good. Just tucked into some porridge. Had a bit of a French press coffee. Not a French press. What are they called? Plunger coffee.
Oh yeah, no, I think that's French press. No,
is it French press? Yeah. So I'm feeling good. Up and about.
Great.
Back into it. Had four. I mean, it's really only 2 work days off. But I didn't use social media from Friday. I made it a habit. I made it a rule that I wouldn't open Facebook or Instagram.
Great.
And from my phone or my computer. But God, you realise how much of a junkie you are when you just you've blacked out and all of a sudden you've tapped on it and what the, I literally found a moment where this should be fair game. I swipe up and I type in IN for my ING account when I want to check some cash. And I just by habit pressed and it went onto Instagram and I was like,
oh no.
So yeah, I mean that only happened once on the first day and then I think yesterday. But yeah, it was good. I missed a few things though.
Well,
a few things.
The Instagram, it reminds me, over the weekend I was noticing, I wonder if this is really specific, whether they do this on purpose, but when you switch different accounts, if you've got different accounts, I've noticed that it opens up different areas depending on what account it is. So for instance, when I go to my Josh Janssen, I always end up landing in my DMs. But when I go to the Daily Talk Show, it goes into the feed. And then I was like, oh, maybe it's because I've got unread messages, but the Daily Talk Show had some too. It's very strange.
You reckon it's just random or they're setting it based
I reckon that
on
maybe they know. Maybe they know. Because, like when you feel a little bit triggered on, if it goes into the feed straight, fuck that content or whatever. I feel like it is thinking about what I'm thinking about. Maybe I've gotten too paranoid.
Scary. No. But maybe they have A/B tested, and Josh Janssen will spend more time in
if it
Instagram,
goes into DMs first.
Yeah. That's what they want. They want the time in app.
So what did you do Thursday and Friday? Talk us through your day.
Thursday, it was just trying to unwind. You realise how it's the first time off the show in 2 and a bit years. But first real holiday I've taken, as you identified. I have 4 years annual leave accrued. But you realise how you're trying to optimise every minute. Usually in a day, how much can I fucking cram into this bad boy? What can I get done? I need this done by this time. Then, it's like you're trying to calendarize by time, putting in times for everything. You just realize that when you don't need to do that, that becomes the challenge. So the challenge before is optimization. And what's the opposite of optimization? I think it's you could see as being lazy, or you could see it as careless. But then that takes as much effort. So the opposite takes as much effort as it does to actually try and optimize. So it's trying to do sweet FA. And I mean, that was Thursday. By Friday.
So what did you do Thursday? Was it just sort of twiddling your thumbs, thinking about things?
Yeah. Went for a bit of a drive.
Did you walk?
Had a few coffees, did a little walk. Didn't do much. Friday, though, you know how I've been talking about needing to get a shed for our backyard?
Yeah.
Well, the shed is up. The shed has been done.
How is it?
The shed nearly broke us. Hell.
What's the deal with the shed?
You think buying from a business called Easy Shed, you think it's going to be, it's in the name.
Yeah.
My God. So my old man came round.
It's easy for them. They just drop it off and here, mate, deal with it.
Life throws challenges, and also life throws you 2,200 millimetre sheeting of metal when they were meant to give you an 1,800 millimetre sheeting of metal.
Sure.
So they'd packed the wrong piece of metal for one of the sections, which was if
so
my dad
this wall doesn't fit. Why doesn't this wall fit? Is that what was happening?
Well, we laid it all out, and we're like, okay, now they've clearly given us the wrong one. Clearly, it's back and forth. We had to end up using a grinder to fucking cut this piece of metal. I was trying to call Easy Shed, but I did it with my dad and my bro, and I said to my dad, mate, there's been a few family falling outs over those sheds. I tell you what, like just think about doing flat pack with your family.
No, it's not great.
That is testing times.
And so how does it look now? Is it all
it's
up?
Sick.
Yeah.
It's sick. We laid sleepers, because our backyard's got a bit of a slope. Mm-hmm. It looks like it's full legit. My dad's at landscape. He's done more he's done more meter lengths of retaining walls than you have done steps in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And me together. He's laid a few retaining walls. Anyway, it looks amazing, and we're putting it on it gets to 4:50 p.m. and it's starting to rain and the roof is going on and it's but I tell you what, mate,
that was your day off. That was Friday.
I did. I approached it like I was exercising. Like, this is my exercise.
Mm-hmm. What time did you start it?
10 a.m. Finished at 5 p.m.
Oh, it's a full day.
I enjoyed it. Like, it's nice. I wasn't checking my social media. I was just like my dad and I just doing, in the backyard. It's I kind of like it. It's like, it's almost, the meditation stuff I'm doing, it's like they're really trying to prevent the approach of this distinction between, formal meditation and then every other moment of your life. And it's trying to say that you don't need the formal practice for it to be meditation. So you can take anything. And one of the cool things is like a bit of a habit is like transitioning between tasks. So you get up from your computer to go to the toilet, or you get up from your computer to go to get a drink. It's like you use that moment to focus on the action or the movement, or just like have it as a trigger point to become a bit more mindful. And so I was trying to, like, in the moment, just like it's very task focused. You're holding something. I'm like, it was all just,
you can get into the zone.
Yeah, and there goes 8 hours.
Were you playing? Did your dad bring like a tradie speaker system so you could play Gold FM or something?
No. I actually got out. I've never done this before. I got out the speaker and I played Fleetwood Mac. Thanks to the guy
great.
with the cranberry juice. Like, I'm just like, oh mate, he's another
Dad
one.
would
I know
have loved
this.
it. Was it?
Dad was like, yeah. He's like, yeah. The guy from Crowded House joined Fleetwood Mac, and so I was like,
great.
No, because that conversation would start with, Dad, you're not a music guy, are you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am. Beach Boys, Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles.
He's just reeling off the cassette tapes that we'd play on family holidays when we'd drive in the car. But no, that was good. But I tell you what, mate, I've been fucked the last 2 days.
Just sore.
Just destroyed. I spoke to Mum last night. Dad went to bed at 6:30 last night. He's nearly 70, mate. I'm fucking 32, and that destroyed me. I was so tired the next couple of days.
And so it was. So have you spoken to Easy Shed?
I tried to call them on the day. Mm-hmm. It wasn't easy to get through.
Yeah, sure. And so, you had to do the grinding stuff. So was most of the time trying to hack it to work?
Well, yeah. We need a new screw. Like, I'm just thankful my dad has tools and he's capable, because if you and I couldn't do it.
No, I wouldn't even try. Wouldn't try.
You and I, it would blow us apart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It would be boxing. Like
just,
kangaroos in the backyard by the end of it. But at that point, do you actually contact? What do I want from them? I've got photos. I want to. I just wanted someone to say, "Well done." That's all. That's all I want.
What's going in the shed?
Oh, we've already loaded it up. Bodie's bikes, like old baby clothes, just shit that's like, our house doesn't have a heap of storage for stuff that would suit a garage, and so now we've just got like Christmas tree holder. Like, what else is in there? Just there'll be a mower in there at some point. Did
it feel like the labour that you put into it, the items that are going in, does it feel worth it?
Yeah, it's nice to have. We needed it. Mm-hmm. It's great. And the owners paid half of the shed
great.
cost. So.
Oh, great.
But I mean, I think Easy Shed should pay the other half, to be honest. They should.
Does it look okay? Would you know that there was a mod job? Was there any mod? Like, did it look like?
It was completely fine. Like,
what colour is it? Just sort of.
Well, we thought it was going to be another colour too. That's a contentious point.
Okay.
Amy, it's called mist green, and it really blends into the aesthetic of the backyard, the grass, the fencing.
Were you hoping for a forest green?
We were wanting a darker one, more like a gunmetal grey almost. But this is way better.
Okay, good.
This is way better. But I just found like that is the time. It's like, speaking of the meditation stuff, it's like you could easily. I was on the phone and then it hung up on me. I'm like, this is not worth it. Let's just keep pushing. Let's keep pushing.
Well, my parents, they're building a house at the moment, Phillip Island, and they had their garage door wrong colour.
Oh no!
Yeah. And the front door also wrong colour, but the front door looks good. But I was FaceTiming Dad. He said we're going to make him change it anyway, just for the. I was like, surely, just if it looks good.
If it look, no, you can't.
You just if it looks good, just let it go.
Oh.
He's like, nah, they fucked it. They fucked the garage. They fucked the door. They've got to fix it.
Well, I mean, it's interchange his name with yours, and that sounds like it would be what you're doing. No, but you're right. I think it's, if it does look good, a discount at least.
Well, that's what I was saying. I think that he wants to set the precedent that no, this needs to be changed, and then he'll work it out. You know, like I think they'll keep the door. The door looks nice. Yeah, this seems to be a common thing. Friends were building a house, and the architect showed what the color of the roof was going to look like, and it was a completely different color. Like it looked like a dark grey. And then anyway, the roof ended up being this super light grey. And so they were obviously, like, they were going for this whole sort of, it was in sort of regional Victoria, and it was sort of meant to blend in with the landscape, and like it fucking stands out.
Yeah.
And it was going to cost like 30 grand or something to replace it. And so then the people who did the roof, they paint it. They said, "Oh, we can just paint it," and they started to fucking flake, and so then they had to. Now it's not good.
Like I feel for these like if they're small business, like it can be the difference of making anything, and not. My brother lived. They lived in a mansion in Flinders, and so it wasn't theirs. They rented it for a year, and they had three other couples go in on it, and they lived down in Flinders, which was amazing. So we used to go down there, and it was this beautiful property, old like manor mansion. They ended up selling it later on, the people who owned it, and this really rich guy bought it and renovated the whole thing. And my bro told me, as we're doing this project, he said, remember the mansion? Remember that huge driveway? Like, I'm talking probably 50 meters of road, like you're sort of winding down, and then they concreted the whole thing, and it was the wrong color.
Oh no! Yeah, this is like a very common thing, isn't it?
The guy kept it. The guy was like, "Fuck it, too much."
Well, that's the whole thing. If I'm the guy that if I get something wrong in an order, like if a restaurant brings an item, I'll just eat it.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, I'm the guy who I don't like modifications in any way regarding food. So I'll eat it as is, but I don't add things too. Like, so Bree's been, if we get hot chips, she'll just use our tomato sauce from home. I just can't bring myself to do it.
Well, hang on.
Because Bree's never happy with it. They're always stingy. Home, right? Yeah, we're eating at home, but we're Uber Eating hot chips. Yeah. And then, I mean, I'm more of an aioli guy anyway. But
my mate used to carry his this is different level attribute. He was a tight ass. Yeah. He would bring a tomato sauce, like a full tomato sauce, with him
in his bag or something.
In the car, in the bag, and just
yeah. I mean, it's it makes sense in some ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny how you can fill your time very quickly. Like I've even noticed that my obsession with getting CNN streaming, Dr. K had mentioned Pluto TV, and then I discovered that Pluto TV was only showing me sort of highlight bits. It wasn't showing me the actual stream. And so then I've been going down this rabbit hole of YouTube TV and and so you can VPN. So I've got like YouTube TV from the States. I'm using a VPN, but then it doesn't work even with like a smart DNS, which is what you use if you want the US Netflix on Apple TV. It won't work. And so, but Brie and I spent hours the last 2 days with the news on, watching all of the politics, switching between Fox News and CNN. It's so interesting.
Well, I think you outlined this when you were not using social media. You end up watching more news because that was like on your phone. What do? You go to a news site because you want to feel connected. It is like it's almost a similar connection to the social media stuff. And so I was looking at a bunch of news sites, and then I was like, this is pointless. But there is a lot happening at the moment, like the US stuff, like Victoria specifically. Wow. I mean, are you any smarter? You got to at least give us a dime.
It's like it's very much like that sort of. It is the social media of news, this sort of like 24-hour news thing.
Yeah.
But
one thing I did, a bit of a rabbit hole I went down, was tunnels of New York. So I went down. There was just some sort of photographer, video people like sneaking into the subway,
going to the train station, like to the last one that they normally skip or whatever. Yeah,
the abandoned. It's not. I mean, it never gets used, but it's interesting facts of like it's built with this curvature that like they would never do it again based on trains have to go so slow and it screeches through. But like the beautiful tiles that are used, it looks like a set of a film. But then there's other ones like water tunnels under New York, and then there's the people that live in the train tunnel system under New York. It's like, and you see some of the comments where here during COVID, hope everyone's all right. It's like some of these people lived in these tunnels for 28 years. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's very interesting to think that like there's something a bit sort of old worldy about it. Like you can start to imagine. Like there's a great there's a film that I'll recommend. It's called American Movie. It's on you can buy it on YouTube. It's like $3.95 or something, but it's from the 90s, and it's about a guy wanting to make a feature film, and they follow his whole. It's in like Wisconsin, I think, and anyway. It's so good because it like all the old fashion, like just like the 90s, like every single thing that they wore would be like hot right now. Just like the big letters, like the big sort of like the NBA fashion. It reminded me a little bit of The Last Dance. But American Movie. If you're a filmmaker, if you like behind the scenes stuff, it's a guy who's just like trying all he can. He spends years trying to make a film. And the documentary is better than the actual film that he's making. It's pretty funny.
When did it get... It was made in the 90s, was it?
Yeah, it was released... I think it was released in 1998, maybe. American Movie. But I couldn't see... Like, I remember watching it years ago. It came out in 1999. And... if you're into filmmaking or 90s culture, you'll like it a lot.
How was your weekend? What did you do? Get out and about?
What did I do? Friday, first time I've ever done this, drank in the park.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great. And it was dark. It was like,
good weather?
It was shit weather. It was pissing down with rain. And so Brie and I walked there. So we walked to that 200-meter bit where Sevs and Grace, like it overlaps. Great. And we had, what was it called? Gordon's gin in a can, in cans.
Oh, cans, yeah.
How was it? It was great.
It's quite sweet, aren't they?
Yeah, like lemon flavor, I think. But they were delicious. But then we ordered Uber Eats to the park, which is awesome. So like the local chicken shop. We ordered McFlurries afterwards to the park. It was so good. We're the only one. So there was one other family or whatever behind us, and they ended up leaving. So it was just us, but we also had our baseball gear. And so we were like a bit pissed. We ended up like we Ubered home, but we were a bit pissed, and we like just like playing. Like I reckon I improved my baseball, like being a little bit tipsy. So that was fun. It reminded me of, it was something that I didn't do. Like I didn't drink when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And so the drinking in the park thing feels like a real experience.
Well, yeah. I think it's now that whoever hasn't done it in the past is going to have to start doing it in the future, because I think that's looking like social occasions from here on out.
Yeah. What have you worked out that you can do with the changes coming into effect? Have you worked out anything?
Oh, I can go to my parents' place, which is good. Which is
my parents like 25.5, I reckon, or 26 Ks.
Here's the thing. My parents' place, you have to drive over 25 Ks to get there.
That's fine. It's just the radius. Line, if you just do the radius thing, yeah.
Yeah, and so I reckon there'll be a bunch of people just typing in an address and going, it's further away than it is. It's like, no, you've got to look at that radius. You've got to look at that and so I can get well beyond my parents' place. That'll be nice for Bodhi. Can go, can fucking party at my parents' joint.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what people do with the rules, because even as the guy who follows every single rule, I don't even know what the rules are now. Like I didn't know if I was able to be at the park. Yeah. It's just like there's a point where it's just like, okay, I'm just going to use my common sense here. I don't see anyone else. We're wearing a mask. But you see when you get a bit tipsy, the mask comes off and you get a bit dumb. It just means
you can drive to, Karen from Brighton can finally go back to the tan and walk the tan.
Oh, great.
Because you can drive further and do exercise. There's no limit to how long you can be out now.
And then from November 1, you can be out for any reason. Is that the idea?
That's, I think,
beyond the 4 reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, which would think that officers could go back. COVID safe, like small teams.
I didn't even think about that.
Well, because this is the thing. We're trying to work out, because the business bodies of Victoria coming out saying, there's no fucking information here. And I'm just trying to sort of break the Da Vinci Code of Dan Andrews. I mean, one thing for sure is Dan's getting a haircut today, because haircuts are back and he needs one, and I do too.
My hair's a little bit crazy. I had to shave my neck beard because it was just getting a little bit out of control. But I think we can just say I'm excited. So one thing, if you watch CNN, if you watch all of this stuff, it gives you a bit of perspective around how bad it's getting overseas. So you look at I think even Dan Andrews didn't even really talk about it that much, which I get, because you don't, when you're wanting information about Victoria, you don't want to spend the time saying how fucked it is other places. But the thing is that Europe...
I'd like an Italy update, though.
Yeah, exactly. No, but the thing is, it's like they are in a world of pain in regards to what's about to happen in regards to lockdowns, and it's going to be way, way, way more severe. And so it's just like this... It's not ideal. I know that like people have lost their jobs, businesses aren't able to operate, all of this stuff, but this is the best version of a bad situation. That's how I feel. And so you look at, when you watch the CNN stuff and you see how many cases, like in the tens of thousands of cases every single day, it's like, okay, well, how do you come back from that? What is that going to take? And then in the States, how crazy is this? So their airflow is important. And so they're encouraging schools, or some schools are, even in winter, as we sort of approach winter, they're in fall at the moment, but in winter, actually having the windows open and giving kids like blankets because because apparently the virus spreads a lot when it's indoors, when you're sort of breathing the same air and all that sort of thing. But then this is the worst bit of it all. A lot of schools have put a huge amount of investment in anti-gun stuff around like school shootings. And so they don't even have access to the windows, like to be able to open them up. And schools they don't want to do outside learning because they've spent the last few years building out their security and having all of these protocols in case, like it's a bit messy.
Jeez.
And so that's why you watch the news,
to really feel good about the human existence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I was just thinking over the last couple of days, we were in LA only a year ago, or almost a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was even thinking about, the start of this year, just before. And I was like, I wish, this is always the case. You always I wish I had more perspective in the time.
Mm-hmm.
If you were knowing what was about to happen, you'd be more. You never would have felt better about having a sweaty bloke in your ear at a nightclub just yelling at you. Just, mate, how are ya?
Yeah.
Good to see ya. I haven't seen you since high school. But you had no worry of catching something, or even that thought wasn't in our mind. And I think about young Bodie, and I'm like, this kid has, there was a time for him before, but now this is all he knows. So when he grows up, what he'll be looking back, and I mean, I hope that it does get to it's a distant memory in the future where we're just like, remember that weird time?
Yeah.
But you've lost a bunch of the real sort of feelings that were attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
You've got some more sort of you've got a better lens on the past than it felt in the time.
Well, I was speaking to Gronk Glenn in Florida, who comes to Australia for Oz Open,
talk show events.
Yeah, exactly, and the Oz Open, things like that. But he was like, we think like it will be happening, but I can't imagine internationals being able to come to Melbourne for an event like Oz Open in January with everything that we've been through. Like, think about the rate of infection overseas. We couldn't afford to open it up.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did it without like the most minimal people. Like the actual athletes. They did the US Open.
But the athletes But the athletes are getting sick. Like, who's the big? Was it soccer
Cristiano
player or something?
Ronaldo. Yeah.
Who's he? Soccer player.
Ronaldo. Yeah.
Okay. He got it.
Biggest
didn't
soccer player in the world. Yeah, he got it recently.
He's not that big because I think David Beckham's bigger because I know about David. I don't know about Ronaldo.
David Beckham as a name. Actually, I reckon there'll be young fans. Actually, no. If you were a soccer fan, you'd know David Beckham. Mm-hmm. But I mean,
Ronaldo.
If you're a young kid, Ronaldo.
You could have said that he's an F1 and I would have believed it. Seriously.
Yeah.
And so who does he play for?
Barcelona, was it?
Well, so the fact that you don't know straight away tells me that he's not as.
But I don't follow the major league. I don't follow that. Like, he's in a European league.
Follow the.
He's in a
Bulleen.
European league,
mm-hmm.
mate. I'm only the Veneto club and whatever happens there. No, I don't follow it. I don't follow that. But I just know he's a superstar and he's a good looking bloke.
Well, it's good to know.
He has a lot of money and great cars.
Air fryers. Been thinking about them a lot. Hamish talked about them on the show.
I saw a little photo of them. Can you get one? Because I've thought about them in the past.
Well, that's what a few people have said. That can you get it and tell me what you think?
Let's get it. Can we get a show air fryer?
Yeah, but where are we going to keep it?
At the office.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's
stink out the office.
Yeah.
No, it's going to stink it out in my shed. I'll run a cord to the shed and
that'd be good.
Turn it on.
Yeah, just cook your drugs in there. But I don't know. I just I'm torn because it will take up a bunch of space. The fact that it's easier to clean, that excites me. But then I just worry. I've mentioned this, that I worry that I won't be eating healthy food that it would just be too easy to eat chicken tenders. Gronk Shannon, she said, you can do roast veggies and like you can do veggies and things like that. But then I asked, as when people were saying, I love it, I said, what do you cook? And, Cam Shand was saying, I cook chicken tenders. And so I feel like there is that risk in me just cooking up a lot of chicken tenders. Too many.
I'd like to see. I mean, this is the thing. Mm-hmm. The technology's gone. It's very, it's very far, and they've probably refined it. But in my mind, I was like, how can you cook a chicken tender in a fucking air fryer?
Well, I want to get a Traeger grill, so I started following Traeger grills on. They've got like their own Australian account. Yes. Trev's got one at the moment. He's doing a review of a Traeger grill. So I'm tempted. Like, I think that I'm more leaning towards a Traeger grill than an air fryer at the moment. But it's funny with the US TV watching all of the ads. All the things that they are way better at selling shit. Like when you watch the ads, they have. I nearly bought this $200 nasal douche. So it's like an electric. It's electric, and because Brie has like sinus thing, like she works up like I've got fucking pressure, like in her nose or like her ears, like she sort of feels it in her ears, and so she needs to blow her nose or whatever, and she got like a manual nasal douche, and there's this nasal douche, I forgot the brand, but
say nasal douche one more time.
Nasal douche, but you put it to your nostrils. And then it like electric, like sort of like really strong water jets through your nose. Like does a bit of a, like in through one nostril, out the other. Yeah. But the ads, they're just very compelling. But they do that with their medical stuff. They do, the ad goes longer. Like there's more information on the side effects than the actual medication.
Oh yeah, they have to. That's their disclaimer. Mm-hmm. But then they can push heavier drugs through advertising with the caveat at the end, you may die. But do you think that the ads are better purely because they're an American accent and you're watching them? Like think about, you're not going to watch Australian ads. Mm-hmm. You'd be so pissed off if somehow you're watching a TV and there's, you'd be offended. Yeah. Look, this fucking arsehole trying to sell me something. But there's something, it almost feels like you're watching a movie, seeing an American
They do testimonial, like Australia doesn't do fake testimonials, but they do fake testimonials so well. It's like the other product was, like skin ticks, or skin tags. There's like a liquid, like, this guy was saying, the doctor wanted to charge me $65 for every tag, but he got this liquid like to freeze it off. But there was this liquid where you could just rub it on and they disappear. I thought that was a cool product. And then there was another one where it was a iPhone holder in a cup. And they were talking about like the cup holder, so like in your car, so where the cup holder goes, that's where the phone holder is. And they and I was like, I don't need this. Like it's a terrible spot, right? Like you're looking down. But then they were showing the other cup holder products where they give you 5 different cup holder sizes and you have to pick the one that fits the cup holder. Whereas this, you twirl a knob and it expands to the cup holder. So that was another good one. Another one was a walking stick, and it had like 4 at the bottom, 4 little suction cups, so it can stand on its own. And it was it was like really quick. Yeah, I just feel
it the octopus.
yeah, it had that vibe. But no, I feel I was tempted to buy a lot more things, and so I wonder what we can learn from the US when it comes to selling.
Yeah, let's set up a site, faketestimonials.com, and we'll get anyone to flog your product.
Or Fiverr already, like you can see, people will do that on Fiverr. I'll like
you can
create a testimonial. Yeah. And they'll wear a like a doctor's coat and stuff.
That's an extra $5.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, stethoscope is an extra $5.
I love it.
Awesome.
Just to clarify, Karen from Brighton, supposedly she's moved to Queensland, so she'd be walking down the beach. George Martin says that Ronaldo plays for Juventus. Fuck, I was never going to get that. And that's about it.
Great. That's about it. Well, if you like the show, share it on social media. Share it on Instagram. Tag us up.
Yeah.
Leave us a review if you're that way inclined. If you got something positive to say. There was I was listening to a podcast yesterday actually that she was giving away a free meditation if you gave a 5-star review and emailed her.
Cute.
What could we should give something away for free, but let's not worry about it. Free? Will you record a meditation? No, we've got enough stuff going on. All right. Thanks everyone. Enjoy your day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
See you guys.